Hello, I'm back as promised to do a brief update on where I am in this sabbatical time. And thank you for all the kind messages I've received through social media. You're very welcome to connect with me if you haven't done so already at RevDal on Twitter, at FRACME on Instagram, and Alistair.McCollum on Facebook. So thank you for your thoughts and for your responses, often to the pictures that I'm sharing of where I am and where I've been around the southern part of England, southern and southwest part of England. I am now in my mother's kitchen. You can see a preponderance, I'm sure, of Winnie the Pooh items and some Union flags, which Mum has around the kitchen. It's certainly been an interesting time. And a very thought-provoking time being here for the funeral of Her Majesty Elizabeth II, and also just in this last couple of days, the reflections that are coming out of a budget, or a mini budget as it was called by the current Conservative government, which seems very much to disadvantage anyone who is not extremely well off to begin with, or at least very comfortably off. Plenty of reflections could be made on that and the events of the last week, and maybe there will be, but you don't need to hear me talking about that now. This time of sabbatical has very much been a time for refreshment, relaxation. I've met up with family and old friends. I've had plenty of time to read. In fact, where did I put the novel? I'm on my third book of the sabbatical so far, the beautiful and thought-provoking Barbara Kingsolver's flight behavior. Went blank for a moment. Barbara Kingsolver is the author also of a number of very powerful and beautifully written stories, including the Poisonwood Bible, which I read some while ago. And as soon as I saw that book in a thrift store, it was one of those, no hesitation to pick it up and make it part of my reading material for this sabbatical. It is an unexpected turn of thinking that has come from the novel reading I've been doing and some of the writing I've been doing of the stories we tell and how we live into our stories and live out of them. And that may or may not find its way into the reflections that I will be doing about ministerial formation. The ministerial formation discussions really begin in earnest next week when I go to Cambridge from here in Devon. I feel like I've been crisscrossing the bottom half of the country for the last 2 weeks. Someone very kindly loaned me a car, and it's one of the only ways to get around, which is a conversation for another time. But I'm off to Cambridge, and I will be... I'm very fortunate that the principal of Westcott House in Cambridge and the principal of the Eastern Ministerial Training Course have both offered a bit of time for me to have conversations next week. And I also have an interview in London to find out, as I was thinking today, the final roll of the dice to find out whether or not I'll be able to go to India and have the same kind of conversations with the principal of the Kerry United Theological School. In the week following, I'm very much looking forward to reuniting with Sabina, and she has kindly said she will come up to a conversation I'm going to have about theological formation with some members of Queen's College Theological School. And it's a united theological school, an ecumenical theological school, so they have a different angle on these things that I'm talking about with regards to ministerial formation. Apart from that, I've been very fortunate to spend time with family and with friends, and also to get to one of the churches with which I've had an association for nearly all of my life, Honiton Parish Church, where they were having a Eucharist, which commemorated Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth last Sunday, and the incumbent there was the rural dean that I followed on from in this Honiton deanery, and I spent a little time as rural dean of 36 churches, which in some parts of Canada would definitely be a diocese. but it was a lively and supportive deanery, and so it's been nice to reconnect there as well. There's plenty more I could say. I'm sure there's plenty more I will say, or notes that I will take and put up either in blog form or just some random thinkings on Facebook or thereabouts. Please do keep in touch. I'd love to hear from you. And if there's anything in particular you want to know about my travels and my studies and what's going on here, please, I'd love to hear. And questions are very welcome. Until we meet or speak again, God bless you and be well. Thank you for all of your prayers and your support.